So, let me ask the both of you here first. How
Okay.
have you been doing?
I'm doing great, thanks for asking.
What about you, Nina?
Me too. I'm doing fine.
How about you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing great as well. Thank
Glad
you for
to hear
asking.
that.
You know, it's really good to hear that the both of you are doing well. Even during this pandemic, that you're both holding up well, and I'm sure that it would be amazing if our listeners would be doing great as well. So, we know that our school currently using a system during this pandemic, the system for our the exchanging of online and offline school, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
For us, it's especially for us girls, it's 2 days offline and 3 days online. Am I correct?
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And for us personally, those days are
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
yeah, correct, for offline school. And we've got the rest of the days online. And during those days, our schedules are the same with the ones online. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Acha,
Yeah.
do you think you can explain to me how our classes go during offline classes?
So, like, the biggest difference that I think all us students face is that we don't have breaks when we're going to offline school. But the rest is pretty normal. We go to classes and the teacher come to us. When we're doing offline school, the teacher will also have a laptop in front of them to teach others online.
Ah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So, let's take for example that you're currently doing online school and the teacher is explaining in the whiteboard and she's explaining to the class offline, yet you're stuck behind the screen and you can only listen to her from your monitor. Exact, right?
Yeah.
Do you think you would be able to focus if you did that? Like with the teacher having to direct her attention elsewhere and you just having to listening to her voice?
Well, I've experienced that. My mom was away, and I had to study at home from school from home, and the teacher was explaining in front of the class. I think in front of the whiteboard, writing stuff on the whiteboard, and their voice became really small, and I couldn't hear well, and yeah, that was really hard.
So you couldn't really focus during
Yeah,
online school.
right.
So that's that. I mean, I personally have experienced that more than once as well. Like, I feel as if I couldn't really hear my teacher's voice, and I had to rely on asking on some of my classmates about the topic of the discussion
Yeah,
that we
me
were
too.
currently having. So, in that case, do you think that it would be better if everyone was online like it used to be, if everyone went to school online, or if everyone went to school offline, or just like it is now? What about you, Acha?
I feel like definitely at some point we will all go offline, back to normal again.
Right.
But for now, it's better for us to stay like this to, reduce contact.
Mm-hmm. I think I share the same opinion as you as well.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Nina?
Well, I definitely think this is progress from all of us doing online school. And, well, there are definitely ups and downs, but I think for me as an offline student, I think I can really understand these subjects better. The most important subjects we're having in our schedule right now.
Ah, I see. Well, I mean, I think that's a given, and I think it's something I can relate to as well. Like when we were in online school before this whole system became a thing,
Mm-hmm.
I think I couldn't really concentrate on my teacher's words and kept getting distracted on whatever I had on hand, like for example my phone or the internet or like that, those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking more about our condition, like our school, like we've discussed earlier, does like a 50-50, somewhat of a 50-50. Like we go to school offline half of the time and the other half we're doing it online like we used to.
Yeah.
And do you guys have a preference to, like, do you prefer online school or offline school? Like, what about you, Nina?
I think I definitely prefer offline school.
And for the reason that you gave earlier?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And what about you, Acha?
I also prefer offline school for the reasons I said. But yeah, it's just basically easier to understand stuff when you're face to face meeting the person.
I see. Well, I personally couldn't. Well, I personally prefer offline school as well since I can understand the topic better. And well, Sahabat Voice, we had a really interesting topic about the ups and downs situation in school. But we have to take a break for a while, and please stay tuned on Voice FM because Brainy Action will be right back after this commercial break.
Don't go anywhere because
103.7 Voice FM, number one Islamic Edu-Business radio. We're back again with me, Inaya, and two of my friends, Nina
Yeah?
and Acha.
Hello.
And we're here to continue our discussion about our earlier topic, the ups and downs of offline school. So, in the previous segment, we talked about our personal feelings about the current system our school has going on about offline and online school, right?
Yeah.
So, about that system, well, I'd like to touch on the online and offline school aspects specifically. So, for those aspects, I'd like to ask the both of you on what you think the benefits of, for example, offline school are. Like, let me ask Nina first.
Well, first I get to meet my friends, talk, and play with them. And it's easier to understand the lessons. And yeah, I think that's it.
I can relate to you on both of those things. So I take it that you prefer physical contact over like social media and stuff.
Well, I think chatting is more easier because you have caps lock and I can express myself really well, but also in physical contact too. I miss doing that with my friends, like playing and talking and seeing them in person. I really miss that also.
I get it. So what about Acha?
Well, I miss my friends a lot, but unfortunately, a lot of them, most of them, chose to go online, which I respect. But yeah, I kind of don't really talk to a lot of people at school, but yeah, I'm enjoying this.
I see. So with your friends still online and you still and you going on to offline school, do you sometimes feel a bit lonely and stuff?
Definitely, yeah, a lot of times actually.
Well, I think that you could go up to your classmates, like for example me and Nina, if you need someone to talk to.
Okay,
We'd
thank
be
you.
open. I personally would be open. What about you?
Yeah, just
Oh
talk
my
to
god.
us.
Oh my god,
It's
you guys are
okay.
so nice. Thank you.
Okay, so about those benefits that the both of you have given, like in summary, so the both of you prefer offline school, that you think are the benefits of offline school are that you get to meet your friends face to face
Yep.
and that you understand the lessons more.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about you, Inaya?
I personally think that I honestly prefer offline school to online school when it comes to learning because like the both of you said, I understand the material better. But honestly, I think socializing is sometimes a bit tiring for me, so I'd prefer online school for that aspect.
Oh yeah.
So we've talked about those benefits, like the socializing benefits
Yeah.
and the learning aspects. So do you have like anything you feel like you're missing out on when you're in online school, since we're talking about the benefits of offline school, right?
Well, for me, I don't know. I don't think I miss that much because I'm not really an extroverted kind of person. So, being in online school is a pretty good thing for me. But again, I kind of prioritize education over that. So that's kind of why I chose offline.
That's actually really admirable of you.
Thank you.
And what about you, Nina?
Yeah. Also, I also get tired sometimes socializing, and I prefer to just sit around bed and watch stuff.
Yeah, I understand.
But yeah, education is very important. I prioritize that more, and yeah, it's really benefited me much.
I see, I understand. So it's really cool that the both of you put education above socializing, and I think it's a trait that can be admired, and that a lot of kids these days, like I'm talking like an old person, I'm sorry. I think that a lot of students these days can take your example. Yeah, we can take your example, and we can try to put our education above things. Yeah, I personally could take your example because I haven't really been serious during this pandemic about my education.
It's a progress.
And like, since the both of you think education above socializing during this pandemic is more important, do the both of you have anything you'd like to say to our viewers, to our listeners, about about education during this pandemic? Probably, like for example, Acha first.
Well, last year I kind of made a mistake. I took it way too seriously to the point where I stressed over little things. But now I learned that you can just take it easy and still understand all the materials without
Yeah.
getting stressed. I mean, it does happen sometimes when just like a lot of things are happening at once, but once you learn to get control of it, you'll get over it.
Ah, I see. So what about you, Nina?
Well, for me, I don't really know, but I have this in online. You know, when you don't get something, you don't understand something, it's hard to ask. Like, you have to open your mic and then wait for your teacher to call your name, and like that. I think that's hard, and I don't really usually ask that much online. But in offline, it gives me the opportunity to be like
More active.
more active, yeah. Since the teacher is right in front of us, we can talk directly to them, and if we still don't understand, we can ask more.
Yeah, I get it.
Ah, I get it. Well, that's really admirable hearing it from the two of you. But Sahabat Voice, we just heard the impressions from us about the offline school, about the benefits and the things that we miss, about the comfort of being at home, but we have to take a break for a while, and we would love to tell you, Sahabat Voice, you're not only able to listen to this program at 103.7 Voice FM, but this program is also streamed live at YouTube, in Instagram, in Istiqamah YPAIT channel, and Voice FM Balikpapan's channel as well. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this break. live on air from the Garden of Knowledge and Virtue, 103.7 Voice FM, number 1 Islamic Edu-Business Radio. I'm back here again with two of my friends, Nina and Acha,
Hi.
and we're gonna be continuing our earlier talk about the benefits of offline school specifically. So, before, we've talked about a few of the benefits of offline school, right? Such
Yep.
as, like the both of you said, you could meet your friends more like face to face,
Mm-hmm.
and you could understand the material better as well.
Hmm.
Is there anything else you would like to add to this topic? Like, for example, what about you, Acha?
Well, as a student, I miss a lot of stuff about school, right? And some of those stopped when online school starts.
Yeah.
One of them being like getting pocket money and stuff. So yeah, I'm really happy to get money from my parents to buy some like drinks or snacks from school because I'm a student. I don't make any income. So yeah, it's one of things.
So, like, what about you, Nina? Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I think I've gotten more productive.
Wow.
Waking up, getting ready for school like from very early, and at the night I get to get ready to sleep earlier too, and set up my things for school like my books and backpack, drink, stuff like that.
Wow. Okay.
I see. For me personally, I think I understand Acha's sentiment. Like, I myself have not gotten any pocket money for this since this pandemic started. Like, for the past 2 years,
Oh my god.
I don't think, except for special occasions, which is absolutely fine since I don't think I have anything to spend it on. I as well. Like, our canteen is closed, which is
Oh, yeah.
somewhat of a loss, I think,
Yeah,
because I miss
Yeah.
the canteen's food. What about you? Do you miss the food from the canteen?
So much, and like eating with my friends and stuff. I miss that a lot.
And about what Nina said, I can understand it as well. I mean, since we've started going to school offline, I've been getting up earlier for school when I'd usually get up at like 7 and then shower for a bit and then eat and just lay down back in my bed to start up my laptop and join class.
Yeah.
Now I have to get up at like 5 or 6. I have to get up at 6 to shower and get my things ready, which is nice. And I've been catching up on more schoolwork now that
Yeah.
the offline school has started.
Mm-hmm.
And since we're talking about the benefits of offline school, like while we're on that topic, why don't we talk about the things you feel have impacted you negatively during this offline school? Like, for example, Nina, do you have anything to say about this topic?
Well, since we've been having school online for like almost a year or
2 years actually.
2 years.
2
Oh
years, I
yeah.
think.
So yeah, we've been at home all year, and like suddenly going to school again is really tiring, I think.
Yeah.
I understand. Like, it feels like you've used up more stamina than you can take since you've been doing everything from home
Yeah.
up until this point, and now you just suddenly have to go outside every 2
Mhm.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about you, Acha?
It affects me both like physically and mentally. Well, physically, I don't move much at home. Obviously, I just sit in front of my laptop. But now I have to go like to science lab or like to just walk over from my desk to the teacher's desk. And for mentally, it's not like that big, but socializing is really hard for me right now because like through text you can think about what you're gonna say, and if you
Right.
feel like in the middle of typing and you feel like no, I shouldn't say that, you can just like delete it. But when you're talking, like you can't like just undo stuff. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
something.
You can't delete what you've just said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I understand. I get where you're coming from.
Mm.
Like, me personally, I've been getting tired a lot more lately since this
Mhm.
offline school started as well. Like, I've been getting sick somewhat more, and mentally, I think that interacting with people has become more tiring than it used to. I used to be somewhat sociable, but now I don't think I really am. So, but you've got to remember that during this pandemic, it's easy to catch like illnesses or
Yeah.
viruses. So, like, you really have to be careful with your health, both mentally and physically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
So, don't forget to take care of both your physical health and your mental health.
Yeah, you too.
So, those were the losses of offline school that the both of you think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to that?
That's it for me, honestly.
That's it for you. And what about you?
Yeah, I think that's all too.
Okay. Well, since we've been talking about all of this from a student perspective,
Yeah.
why don't we say that, let's say that you've become a teacher at this school at Istiqamah,
Okay.
Yeah.
and you're currently trying to migrate yourself into offline school since you've been doing school online for like the past 2 years now.
Yeah.
What do you think you would feel? How would you feel about doing offline school as a teacher? Like, what about you, Acha?
Well, most of the teachers I know have kids, right?
Mhm.
And I think it will be like way easier to take care of your kids when you're at home because everything is there. Everything you need is your kid need is there. And like a lot like if the kids is like so young and you have to bring it to school, it's definitely gonna be a challenge because you need to like bring everything else that is essential for the kid. But definitely seeing my students will be really lovely because I definitely will miss them a lot.
And like, what about you, Nina?
Well, I think it's hard. You know, you have to pay attention to your online students and the students in class. I think that's really hard to pay attention to your laptop and then pay attention to the students in front of you and trying to like explain things on your laptop and then on the whiteboard. I think that would be really hard.
So you think that diverting your attention from the online students and the offline students would be a challenge?
Yeah.
And about what Acha said earlier, you think that raising a child offline compared to raising a child while teaching online is harder.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Well, I think I can agree with the both of you actually. I mean, if I were a teacher, I think I'd prefer online school as well, even if I've got to keep hounding my students to turn in their assignments on time.
Oh my god.
On the topic of assignments, like, do you think you've gotten more assignments during this offline school, or like you've gotten less assignments than when you had online school?
Quite the opposite. I feel like I've gotten more assignments during online school. Because when you're doing it offline, just like what Nita said, like in the previous segment, you can easily ask your teacher about stuff, and that way, like it's easier for you to do the homework rather than just staying there in complete silence and going everywhere to ask your friends about it.
I understand. Like, what about you, Nina?
I don't really think there is a decrease or increase. I think it's the same. I feel the same. What about you, Naya?
I think I feel like there has been less assignments since I've gone offline. But when it's time for online school, I think like it's the same, honestly. Like for assignments as well. But one thing I really like about offline school is that you turn in your assignments on time. Like for me, I turn in my assignments. I remember my assignments more when they're given offline. since I
Ah.
can note them down or stuff. But online school, sometimes I get lazy to do my assignments online, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, the both of you, do you feel like online school assignments are more tedious to do, or like do you enjoy them the same as when you're doing offline school assignments? Like, what about you, Nina?
Well, I think if it's online, I can just click close or like close the tab. But like if it's on paper, I think I have the feeling to like I need to do this right now.
So you get your things done quicker when
Yeah.
you're on offline.
Yeah.
So what about you, Acha?
Um, there are definitely, it's like the same thing basically, because online there's like a time limit where
Oh, yeah.
once you've reached past it, you can't really turn in the assignment anymore, and you have to beg your teacher to, return it, and
Yeah.
so that you
Yeah.
can return it back. So it's not really that big of a difference for me.
So, honestly, yeah, I understand where the both of you are coming from, and like, yeah. All right, guys, we've just realized that besides learning for assignments, moving a lot, and in this case, working out, is very important for our health. So please don't let yourself drown too much in laziness, or you're gonna get tired so easily, like me
Yeah.
personally. Well, we're still gonna remind you Sahabat Voice, not only available in your analog radio 103.7 Voice FM, but this program is also available now on YouTube. You can grab your gadget now and please like, share, and subscribe, or leave your comments in Istiqamah YPAIT channel and Voice FM Balikpapan channel. Don't go anywhere. Brainy Action will be right back after the commercial break. 103.7 Voice FM, number one Islamic Edu-Business radio. We're back here again with me and two of my friends, Nina and Acha,
Hi.
and we've been talking about a lot of topics, specifically around the ups and downs of online and offline school,
Yep.
and about all of the topics we've discussed today. Like, we've talked about a lot of things. Like, first we've talked about the both of you and mine as well, our personal feelings about our new school's offline and online system.
Yeah.
And then we've talked about both the benefits and the losses of offline school during this pandemic, and also about our viewpoint if we were a teacher. Like, what if it would be hard to teach during offline school?
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to get the both of your opinions on this. Do you prefer online or offline school? It's a big question. Like,
Okay. Overall, offline school.
and what about you?
Definitely offline school, but we're all offline school students. I think
Ah.
it's a biased.
Yeah, I think it's somewhat
Opinion.
biased
Okay,
as
it's
well.
kind of.
Well, I agree with the both of you two sentiments. I think I prefer offline school as well, solely for the reason that I can get to do this.
Yeah.
I can get to go on the radio like this, and I can meet my friends and understand the material better, just like what the both of you have said. And speaking of that, our school, since we've gotten our new system, like the offline and online system we've talked about earlier.
Yep.
And do you think it's effective, the both of you?
I think it's the best way in this condition. Yeah.
Yeah.
The best
I
way
agree.
to learn
Yeah.
like this?
Yeah.
I think I agree with the both of you as well. And since our school has an effective way of catering to the students that want to go online and offline, it's ideal. I think it's ideal for the current condition right now.
Definitely.
And for the students, especially for the grade 6 students who are currently looking for schools, for middle schools, our school, SMPIT Istiqamah YPAIT, is currently open for new student administrations. So wouldn't it be fun if you came and joined us in this school like this? Since our school has an ideal condition and system with 50-50 on online and offline school like this.
Totally. Yeah.
Right. So I assume that the both of you agree with me.
Yep.
Yep.
Totally.
And do you have anything you'd like to add? Like, for example, you've got anything to say to the listeners or anything else? Probably.
It's almost exam season now, so
Ah,
study
that's
well.
right.
Stay healthy.
Yeah.
Don't push yourself too much, I guess.
Yeah.
So study well, stay healthy, and don't push yourself too much, especially since this is the exam season.
Yeah.
And I'd like to wish all of you listening, especially the students listening to our talk today, good luck on your exams and best wishes to everyone currently listening to this program.
Yes.
Keep yourself healthy as well, especially during this pandemic. We don't want you to get sick so that you'd miss offline school, right?
Yeah.
And since that's been an hour, actually, wow. An hour went by really quickly.
It does, yeah.
And I think it's time for us to say goodbye since our time here is done. Thank you for all of you who have listened to our program today, Brainy Action, on 103.7 Voice FM, number one Islamic Edu-Business radio. And we'd like to sign out right now. Wassalamualaikum
Warahmatullahi
warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh.